Hello everyone, I hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you so much for joining me for my Try It Out Tuesday series. Now today, actually a while back, Stampendous had sent me a few products and this stamp set was one of them. It's beautiful. It's the Coneflower Cling stamp set. They also sent me the coordinating dies to play with, and so today we're going to be making a few cards. Beautiful sentiments, a lot of real pretty images. And then in the die set, there's the 3 flowers in the leaf that you can cut out, but you can also cut out the center of the flowers, which is fantastic for adding dimension, because I love dimension. On the back side of the stamp sets, there's tons of inspiration for you. In fact, the multimedia picture there kind of inspired me for my very first card that we're going to make today. So we're just going to jump in. I'm going to grab my mini Misty here, and then for this card we're going to make a 1-layer card. So this is actually C&CT XL watercolor cardstock. I'm going to place it in there, and I'm going to grab the smaller coneflower. We're actually going to stamp the same coneflower twice on this panel here. Along with the stamp set you get a stencil, which is wonderful. You just punch them out, and you can use the positive part of the stencil or the negative part. I found that using the positive part, it creates wonderful masks. It saves so much time. But I'm just going to kind of arrange my flower, remove my foam mat there. Okay, using some Barely Beige ink from Simon Says Stamp. This actually came in a previous Simon kit, but it works great for no-line watercoloring, so that's what we're going to do today. Now, once I have my first image stamped, I'm going to do it again, but this time I'm going to mask off the first stamped image. I'm just going to take the positive stencil part, place it on there, and then secure it down with some tape here. And it worked fantastic, and I like that you can actually wipe them off too. They're on the thinner side, which makes it great. I'm going to ink up my flower again and just stamp right on top. Now you can't see it very well, but once you add watercoloring, it helps. Okay, now we're going to stamp the leaf. Now the leaf here, I'm stamping towards the bottom, and it kind of doesn't flow really well with my flowers. But on the back side of the stamp set, there was a mixed media page that the designer, it's beautiful, the designer had created their own stems, and so that's what I wanted to do with this card. I want to create my own stems. Now to watercolor these in, I'm going to use my water brush and also some distress inks. These are little mini distress ink cubes, and I'm going to use Fired Brick, Spice Marmalade, some walnut stain, squeezed lemonade, mustard seed, bundled sage, mowed lawn, shabby shutters, and then on the side there I stamped ground espresso and another walnut stain. Now I want to let you guys know that I've never taken any classes, or I have actually no clue on what I'm doing with watercoloring. I just let the ink basically do the coloring for me. I think this technique is very relaxing, and I enjoy doing it. I like the fact that every flower turns out different, but I just want to let you know I'm not an expert, and I don't know the proper way to do this, but I just enjoy doing it. Okay, now enough rambling. I am going to play a little bit of music while I finish coloring in these cone flowers, and then when I'm finished with the flowers, I will catch you back. Okay, I have my image colored in and I think it looks so pretty. I love those coneflowers. Okay, we're going to set that aside to dry and then we're going to go ahead and jump in with our next card. Now for card number 2, I'm going to take my Mini Misty again and I have 2 of the larger coneflowers and the leaf and I'm going to stamp them with my Memento Tuxedo Black ink on a piece of regular white cardstock. I'm gonna actually color in these images here with my Copic markers, and I skipped the coloring, but I did want to do another panel because I want the inside of those coneflowers and I want another leaf. So once I have those stamped, I'm going to color them in. I just use the same colors basically, greens and golds and some brown tones to create this almost the same color flowers. Now, once we have that done, I'm going to take the coordinating dies and I'm going to cut out each of those images. And the nice thing about these dies is that it cuts all the way. It doesn't leave a white border. It will cut all the way to your stamped black line on your stamped image, which is really pretty. So I have them all cut out. Now we're just going to layer the center of our flowers with a foam square. Just going to place that in the center of our flower and add the center of our flower. And I think that looks so pretty. Adds a lot of dimension. Love that. Actually, I think this is the first time I ever did a flower without a white line on it, and I think they're gorgeous. Okay, now I cut out a panel. This panel is 3.5 inches by 4 3/4. I'm just going to stamp my sentiments. So I'm going to place my panel in the Mini Misty here, and then I'm going to use the stamp set or the sentiment here that says, "May flowers always line your path and sunshine light your day." And I think that is just a beautiful sentiment. And the font on it's really, really dainty. I really like that. Now I'm going to arrange my little flower scene. The nice thing about these flowers is they are on the large side, so your focal point is your flower, and I just love that. Now I trim down one of the leaves. I'm going to tuck it underneath my flower, and I'm going to do the same thing to that top leaf. I'm going to just make it a 2-leaf, and then we'll add that other leaf right in the corner there. Okay, using my tape runner, I'm just going to adhere my leaves directly on my panel, and then I'm going to, after we have all the leaves glued down, I'm just going to pop up my sunflowers with some more foam squares and then place that on my panel, and I think that's going to make a beautiful card. Now for my card base, it's the A2 size card base, 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. I'm going to pop up my panel and just place it right in the center. Now for bells and whistles, I did go in with some honey gold Nouveau glitter drops in the center of my coneflowers, and that finishes that card. So now we have to finish our first card. I think it's just about dry. So I'm going to take a stitched rectangle die and cut out my panel. This is going to leave me a very small border on my card base. My card base for this card, I chose a yellow that kind of coordinated with my coneflowers there. And for this sentiment, I'm going to use the Hello Sunshine. Now to keep this kind of very natural looking, I decided to use my Memento Rich Cocoa ink. I'm going to stamp it a few times. My ink pad's drying out. I've had it for a long time. But I think the brown goes really pretty with the center of the flowers. Now I decided to add some gold twine to the bottom of this panel. I'm just going to tie it, I doubled it up, and I'm just going to tie a bow with it. I really wanted to keep the organic look of this card. Now I pop my panel up with some foam tape, and I'm just going to place that on my card base, and then I'm going to add a few little sequins. These are some cream colored iridescent sequins that I just grabbed from my stash, and I'm going to add a few here and there just to keep the softness of the card. But those are my cards I made today using the Stampendous Coneflower stamp set. I think it's a fantastic set, and if you guys are interested, I'll leave links below to where you can check it out. I wish you a fantastic day. Thank you again, Stampendous, for sending me these gorgeous products. I was so happy when I received them, and they are so fun to play with. Have a great day, guys, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.